Hello, good viber. How are you doing? Dekomayo out here. Yes. Chukori. Yes. Ooh, yes. Okay. What is good, fam? So today, your girl Esther Joy wanted to come at you with a video. We like to talk about love, light, joy, and peace on this planet if you don't already know. But yeah, so if you do now, you do know. And if you like those vibrations, you like spreading them to the breeze, the trees, especially the honeybees, and then you know what? You can subscribe if you want or not. Thank you, fam. That is here. You know, we out here, right? Good viber. All right, so let's just hop into it. I wanted to talk about my experience and just life lesson, what I've learned about Reiki and energy healing, hopefully to help somebody, okay, with something. So that's why you're here, I guess, and that's why I'm here. Okay, so your girl Esther Joy, back in like end of 2018, 2019, full through, she had like that whole experience, and she then dove into trying to understand that experience. You know, the internet can only tell you so much with a vague understanding of what actually happens when you have something like a kundalini rising, or let's just say God touches you, or your experience, which looks different for everyone. Some people know exactly what to say and they just feel led. But anyways, all right, your girl Esther was 19 years old and she's in college, and she just quit her job because she was going to teach people how to raise their vibration, and she thought it was such a great idea. That's a life story for another time, okay? But during this time, I was so like a sponge, absorbing everything I could. Every single book, every single guru. I was just taking it all in. I was taking notes on everything. And during this time, there was a lot that I learned, and I wanted to talk about in this video specifically what I've learned about Reiki healing and energy healing in general. So eventually I was just scrolling on Instagram back in the day, and as I was such a lust, is that the right word? Just a knowledge. I just needed to consume as much as I could to understand, like, why did I have that experience? Why am I changing so much? Why do I feel so much more than before? It wasn't like this, I don't think. So I remember seeing an ad for some Reiki practitioner, Reiki healer certificate dude or whatever, and I thought it was interesting. So I clicked on the ad, and they mentioned some resource, I guess. He was like, I learned from this master. So I looked at where they learned, and I googled that master healer's name, and that led me into a rabbit hole. And if you are a college student, maybe you know the power struggle of finding a free textbook online because you don't want to pay for it. Well, that's exactly what I did with this Reiki course. I found out where they learned their stuff, and then I found the author that created, or wherever it was. Have you not? Long story short, I found a PDF of a Reiki master's whole walkthrough of how he trains his Reiki 1, 2, and 3 practitioners, and how he would go through a master attunement. And it had all of the exercises, it had all of the techniques, it had the history of Reiki, it had, the requirements for how many people you need to practice, what kind of practice you need to do in order to have the hours. All of that was in this free PDF I found on like academia.com. And so once I saw that, I was in the school library. I printed out the whole thing with some of my credits. It was like a good 80 pages front and back of just paper. And I remember the day I found this online, and I was so excited because I was like, oh my god, I cracked the code. I found this all for free. And before then, I was looking at YouTube videos. I was looking at, I was finding resources because I didn't want to pay. I had like less than $40 in my bank account at this time, fam. So I was just trying to learn as much as I could for free. Okay, so I feel everyone out here. And so when I found that, I was salivating. I was like drooling over the papers. I whipped out my highlighter. I spent the whole day in the library just highlighting, taking notes. I was engrossed with this giant PDF training manual for Reiki. And I learned a lot from it. To say the least, okay? To say the least. So that brings me here. What did I learn, fam? What did I learn, okay? Because I actually used to, like, during that time, I did follow through with the exercises. I practiced on my dog every single morning. I practiced on my sisters, my friends, my parents, people that, my teachers, anyone that was in my vicinity. I would practice on them. Children I was teaching, I would practice on them. Was that good? Oh yeah, you shouldn't really. There's a little debate whether you should do that or if that's like kind of violating people's energetic fields. I would not do it currently with what I know now, but it is what I did back then. I was obsessed with practicing as much as I could, and this did eventually lead me down a rabbit hole to understand the chakras more in a practical way, of course, and to be able to really apply that understanding in that way. I never really advertised Reiki healing because I didn't really feel comfy and I felt kind of like an imposter. Yeah, sure. During the attunements, when the master is supposed to attune them, I would just sit there and I would just close my eyes and I would think about what they say was the founder of this ancient Reiki healing technique that I think was founded in Japan, if I'm not mistaken. I could be totally mistaken, okay? I would just sit there. I would just visualize this Reiki master. I would just think about their energy and it would get me all giddy. And I would be like, please attune me or show me the way, And I was just, really vibing in my room. Just like my family would just hear me laugh and like cackle and be like, ha ha, ha ha. I would just be so excited because there were so many connections I was making. But now let's just talk about that and bring that back more into the future and why I felt led to make this video. Yeah, it was really cool to learn about all of these amazing symbols, how they work, why the right spiral is different than the left spiral. All of these different beautiful parts, the symbology, the technique, the attention, the energy surrounding it. It is all beautiful. And though, yes, at this time, I do feel like I have my own unique way of healing, and it's helped me develop that through understanding and studying different healing modalities. I just want to let you know that I think that's what I really wanted to talk about. You have to understand that the Reiki that I learned was obviously not the cookie cutter mold Reiki that you get when you go to get certified and you actually do it in that kind of setting. I taught myself because I was just obsessed with being able to understand energy healing and through any means possible with what I could do. I look back at it and I think that the symbols and the words and the sounds, yes, they are keys that can unlock something, but if you don't know what door you're intending to open, it won't really open anything up. I'm not sure if that made sense, so let me try to put it into words that hopefully are simpler. We all can heal, and it isn't about the techniques that you learn, it's about the doors that you are willing to open. Yeah, okay. I think that's what's coming through. I'm thankful that we are all made differently and that we all have the ability to heal someone because there's something within us that needs healing. And this whole idea of healing is really where I want to go. This is the climax of the video, guys, okay? Is that the way you heal people is by realizing they're already healed. That's the whole premise. And so you don't need any healing. And when you realize this, you'll be healed. Okay, there's a difference between saying, I don't need any healing, and being like real, not aware of what's going on. Like you broke your leg and you're like, I don't need any healing. But babying that broken leg is not going to help it get better. Eventually you're going to have to train those muscles again. You're going to have to get up and you're going to have to push yourself a little bit. It's not going to be comfy. But I truly believe that a big part of healing, we need less healers and we need more people to just acknowledge the health within each other. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I remember during a session I was doing with one of my best friends who suffered with fibromyalgia, and I always thought fibromyalgia was really interesting because I felt like it had such strong energetic ties and how it was manifested in the body. And I remember during that session, all I could think about was that this being has learned the lesson from this dis-ease that has come here, and because they have, they can return back to that state of balance again. And after that, she's never had a really bad fibro outbreak. Now that I know, we're still pretty close, so I'd hope she'd let me know and we could like chat and I could help her the way I could. But yeah, I think that it's really important to acknowledge that we are already healed within ourselves, and that the source of all life form that is just streaming in us is already with us. Everyone who is looking to be healed has just acknowledged that there is something within themselves that they don't think is healthy, and that's good. Because guess what? That means something's working. That means that the outcome is gonna be good. Because if that detector is on, then that's great, okay? That means that you can acknowledge. That's literally telling you like where you need to acknowledge the lesson and learn it, okay? I believe that any physical ailment, any element, anything, any experience that you have, because it's all an experience, physical, mental, spiritual, these are all experiences that we're having and perceiving and sensing. So I feel like I'm gonna go on a rant right now. I know I'm going on a rant. So let me hold myself back and say what I have learned about energy healing is that you don't really need healing. You just need somebody to see the parts of you which are already healed. Does that make sense? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. You can't please everybody and you're not here to, okay? So focus on the good things and focus on you. I appreciate you for just being here for a moment. I'd love to know, how do you feel about energy healing? I know a lot of people have something like an imposter syndrome when it comes to healing. But I'm here to tell you that if you've acknowledged something that you have healed within yourself through the help of, I'm just gonna say it, God, source, oneness, if you have taken the moment to realize that this purpose of your healing was just to acknowledge that you were already healed and the thing that you thought was broken was actually a sign to help you bring awareness to what is here for your benefit, to make you stronger. And I know that sounds kind of weird and paradoxical, but I truly believe the best healers are those who take time to heal themselves and encourage others to look inwardly to the parts of them that they believe are broken and see how they are fixed. That sounds weird, but if you know the law of attraction and how manifestation works, I think you understand me perfectly, fam. So I acknowledge you, I appreciate you, and everything is working in divine timing. There's no use in fixating in the brokenness that needs healing. There's only time for us to focus on what is already healed and healthy and well. Okay, so that is my whole spiel, I guess, for this video. I never know what's gonna come out, but I hope that you enjoyed it. And I'd love to know again if you are Reiki certified, if you practice energy healing, what kind, how did you discover this part of your life, this journey and this calling in your soul? What sparked it for you? What did you believe needed healing and therefore brought more health to your life? I would love to know, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for coming by. I really appreciate it. I like okay. Wow, okay. I'm excited, so I'm just, yeah, I'm happy. Words. Okay. Enjoy the rest of your day. God bless. Amen.